Hi, this is Jay Aaseng from Twin Peaks: The Return. You're listening to Inspirado Projecto.
Maybe it's time to let the old ways die. Maybe it's time to let the old ways die. It's Maria. That's right. Did you think it was Bradley Cooper? Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Belated. I hope you had a great last couple of weeks, and I hope you have a fantastic 2020. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
There we go. Prime example of working with other anchor creators. There's Maria Humphreys from Strong Body, Strong Soul podcast. How cool is that, folks? What we're about to hear next. Thank you, by the way, Maria, for contributing. And I trust that your new year is going to be just power-packed and filled with even more podcasts and YouTube videos and Instagram videos and all that crazy razzmatazz that you just put out. You are a one-woman network. It's astounding. What we're going to hear here for this episode is let's just call it an exploration. An exploration. So, get ready. Strap on your safety helmet. Wowzers, yikester, McFinster. I got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, creatures and aliens, guardians of the gardens, to the seen and unseen and yet to be experienced consciousnesses out there in the world and beyond, of course. I gotta say, welcome to the first segment of 2020. Oh my gosh, 2020, man. 2020, right? Don't they say hindsight is 2020? This is great. This is great. I can feel it. This is great. Wowzers, man. 2020. This is totally the future, man. 2020. This is it, man. Like, it's just now sinking in. This is a brand new year. It's 2020. We've reached that. This was a futuristic concept. So was 2000. So was any of these days, if you think about it. Yikes, man. Last night was Stars and Stripes. A buffet of stars and stripes, man. Wow, man. That was a phenom. A paraphenom. That was a paraphenom. Phenomenormal. I think we were talking about that before on an episode before. Phenomenormal. That was a word, phenomenormal. So it's a phenomenal paranormal. And then there was also the paraphenomena. Ooh, I love that. Paraphenomena. Paranormal. Paranormal. That's what it was. Paranormal. Paranormal and phenomenal. Paranormal and paranormal. Something like that. That's what's going on here. 2020. Think about this. It's an hourglass. It's an hourglass. This is funny. This stuff fits into the Usu. Maybe this is the year that I write the Usu book. Wow, man. This is the year. It's got to be. I mean, it's glasses. We're looking at glasses right now. We're looking through the lens right now. This is going, okay, guess what, guys? Everything that you've learned, everything, all of your likes, your dislikes, it's now your responsibility. You are now all waking up now to that responsibility. You're waking up to your own responsibility. More and more people are waking up to their own responsibility. I think that's what 2020 is. Bam. People are now going, whoa, we're in the future. 2020, man, 2020. How crazy is that? If we want to talk about the history repeating itself, the roaring 20s, isn't that what we're doing right now? roaring 20s, man. Oh my God, it's so crazy when you think about it. Here we are. So that's what it is. If you think of that 2020. It's like you're taking sunglasses and tipping it on the side. That you, that two is also a U. Oh my God. Whoa. This is astounding. Whoa, man. Whoa, man. Wow, man. Wow, man. Wow. I'm coming across so many epiphanies right now. So yeah, that's the thing. So glasses, these are, I've been joking about how our manager and our agent are the lens and the spectacle. Well, guess what? Now, this is the lens and this is the spectacle. What kind of spectacle are we putting on? How interesting is that? A spectacle can be the glasses that you're wearing. A spectacle can also be the spectacle, the brilliance, this thing that's happening. The happening. You are the lens and you are the happening. You are the eyes looking through the lens and you are the happening. Isn't that interesting? You are the eyes looking through the lens. You are the lens. You are the happening. If we want to play with that idea that we're actually manifesting that happening into our life, it's just disguised. It's disguised in a different camouflage than we're expecting. It's containing all the elements of the things that we talked about. It's a Frankenstein, so to speak, of all the elements that we talked about. And bam, all the things we've had electrical charges for. If we start taking notes, I wonder what would happen if we started taking notes and we started looking around at our day and we start going, okay, here's this thing that's popping up. Do I prefer this? Do I not prefer this? Why don't I prefer this? And if I do prefer this, just for kicks, what can I link this back to? How soon can I link this back to a thing that I talked about, a thing that I thought about, a thing that I had a conversation about, a thing I wrote a song about, a thing that I made a movie about, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. A thing I read about, a thing I heard discussed by someone else, overheard it. It goes and goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. It's interesting. It just keeps going and going and going. The responsibility just keeps going and going and going and going and going. Maybe that's what we're realizing. We're realizing the things that we prefer, the things we do not prefer. So now we link those things back. And then we go, okay, so I said this, I said that, I said this, I said that. Did I really mean that? Because this is how it manifested. You see this Frankenstein of these various things. So then what happens if we start experimenting in that fashion? We start being really conscious of the words we're using, of the dialogue that we're using, keeping aware of it, of how it manifests into our realities, just easy and relaxed. Just watch it unfold. If you think about those spectacles, if you think about the 8, if you tip it on the side, there it is, of course, the hourglass. This is something that's all part of the Usu philosophy, giving you peaks. So it's the hourglass, it's the Mobius strip, it's the precipitation, it's the recycling, it's that. All of that symbology, it is that. So that symbology already exists. If we think of that as like a chemical, what do we interact with that chemical? That is going to go bam. We look at that, that's the medicine. Kind of like aspirin. Okay, you got a headache? Bam, take the aspirin. So then you go, all right, we know that this particular behavior of this particular thing, the infinity, the symbology and everything associated with this, what are the ingredients of it? Bam. You look at that. What is the ingredients of infinity? Hourglass, Mobius strip, give and take, yin yang. You could cry tears of joy and tears of sadness. Isn't that interesting? And that's a teardrop. If you want to look at that like that, it's kind of like kind of teardrop too, if you want to kind of give it a little twist, if you want to look at it from a little different angle. Because it all depends, you have that shift of that perspective. It's all about perspective. It's all about perspective. Imagine how powerful we'd feel when we woke up to that moment where it is all within the power of our perspective. And sometimes there's this feeling of wanting to hold a grudge or doing this thing just strictly out of principle. No, I'm not going to let them get me. No, if I do this, then there's that, all those little things. But what if we just led with that intention? What if we just, okay, so here's this vortex. Abraham talks about that, the vortex. So let's just imagine that that's the vortex they're talking about, that infinity. You step into the eye of infinity. Imagine if you draw, it's like, okay, so draw, it's like, start at your third eye. Let's just say that. If you don't know what that is, just point to exactly between your eyes on your forehead right now if you want. Just do it with me. Oh my God, that feels so good. Just press in there. Just press in there. Ooh. Just play with that a little bit. Just like press in there. It's like a massage, isn't it? Ooh, that feels awesome. It's like you're pushing a button. Wow, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that feels good. Maybe that's an easy way to massage the third eye. So you start there and you draw around one eye, and bam, you meet at the middle. Then around the other eye, bam, you've drawn a mask. You're in the eye of infinity. You're right there in the eye. It's a propeller. It's a perpetuator. It recycles, it precipitates, it reciprocates, it precipitates. It's the prescription. It's the subscription. It's the reaction. It's the creation. Wow. It's the combustion, the connection, the copulation, the constellation. Goes. Perpetuates itself. Imagine the people in ye olden days, all their entertainment was the sky, it was the fire, it was water, it was nature, it was playing into the idea of animals becoming omens. Somewhere that idea came about, some legends around a campfire with some storytellers. They said, you know what, the owl is going to symbolize this, because I noticed every time that something crazy went wrong, there was an owl nearby. So, okay, so we're going to look at these owls. Hey, you know what, me too, Joe. Me too, Joe walks in the wind. I had the same epiphany. Every time something went wrong, there was an owl nearby. Okay, that's what that's going to mean then. Every time, what do you mean? Okay, check it out. Every time that there's an owl, we know that that is a harbinger of something wrong or something bad or something extraordinary. Every time you see this leaf, every time you see four-leaf clover, bam, good luck. Here comes something awesome. Every time the trees move by the wind in a certain direction, now that means this, when the gopher comes out of its hole. Looking to nature for our signs. And the gopher groundhog thing, that's dipping a toe in it. That's still holding on to the tradition. So when you mix even a little tiny hint of the truth with something completely fabricated, you still taste the truth in there. So that's why it's hard to let go of that. So there's that. It's funny when you look at that symbology. Anyway, just that idea of playing with the idea of going, okay, that tree right now, if I just close one eye and I look at it, that looks like it could be a multi-tentacled. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I would say 16-tentacled creature. With leaf-looking tentacles. Okay, so it's a multi-tentacled thing. It's tentacles with tentacles. I haven't seen that before. Kind of a furry, hairy, leafy, hybrid creature. So that's what I'm looking at when I'm looking at this tree. So now I start, saying things to that tree. Hey, tree, I trust you're a good monster. It's just the camouflage you took up. Every time I look at you, I'm going to play with the idea that you blast into my antenna, in my third eye, right there in the middle. That spot, that magical spot we were just pressing earlier between our eyes, right there, the bridge of the nose. Oh, that feels good. And if you move up a little bit, there's that divot where your forehead kind of right. Oh, that's good too, right there. You just push with your thumb, like it's good. It feels good, like upside down and try it the other way. Feels good. And then if you get the two fingers, you get the thumb, and then you get the index or the first finger. Squeeze the bridge of the nose. We've seen this in movies and probably read about it in books and stuff. Seen it happen with adults out there in the world. You just push right there. Whoa, there we go. Does that get rid of stress? Is that what we're doing? All I know is it feels really nice. We're opening a portal. Bam, bam, boom. When the epiphany outweighs the stress, that's the point you want to get to. When the epiphany outweighs the stress. When the excitement outweighs the anguish of what you're going to have to go through to get it. Who's to say that what you're going to have to go through to get it is going to be something that's a pain in the ass? Can it be fun? You know, it's so interesting. When we equate work with something, we equate it a lot of times, at least in my brain. When I equate work, when I think of work, I'm thinking of corporate jobs. I'm thinking of labor. I'm thinking of labor. Here are some multiple ones. I'm thinking of corporate jobs, working in there you are in your little cubicle, and people are yelling at you 9 to 5. Do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. Ask him for permission, send that email, send this proper form, and then fax this to there, and don't make sure, all these things, don't step on any toes, no. All this stuff. Then you get stuck in that mindset, and then you start viewing, when you think of the word work now, that's your definition of it. Bam, that's it, work. Well, what if you either redefine that word itself? This is the power. This is that power. Okay, this is that power. So you either redefine it, work, whatever you think of the word work to be. Rock, R-O-W-K. It's not work, it's rock. All right, dude, it's time to rock. You mean go to work? No, time to rock. Go to rock. It's time to go to rock, bro. R-O-W-K, there it is. Don't go to work, go to rock. Don't think about going to work, go to rock. Rock. Don't think about going to work. Think about going to rock. There you go. Brand new idea. So, every time I look at this multi-tentacled creature, this tree, this is going to become my omen. Every time I look at it, it's going to blast me with insight. It's going to blast me with epiphanies. It's going to blast me with magnetization of multiple streams of income. Just doing exactly what I want to do. Being who I want to be, creating what I want to create. Right now I'm working on a new movie. I'm not even going to talk about it. This is what I got to get in the habit of doing, is not talking about, not letting people know what it is that I'm doing, what is going on. Nobody really has to know. Do they? Is it essential? If you don't know anything yet, then do you miss it if it was never told to you? If there's information, how about this? If there's information you never knew about it, do you miss it if it is never told to you? So let's say here's a person. Has no information about whatever, nothing, nobody. As much information as we think that we have, that we know, how much of that is just something we've heard, first of all? But that's an additional point, okay? That's an extra seasoning. But let's just say this, with the information that we know, imagine all the information we do not know. How do we get to that point of getting to that information that we need to know, that we want to know, that we crave to know? How do we get to that point? Diving deeper, diving further. I'm going to talk more about this on the next podcast because I feel I'm just going to open up the throttle. So with that, I bid you adieu. Or should I just keep going? Who's determining that I gotta stop? All right, so it's me. Who's the author? Me. I'm the author. Who am I talking to? I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to multiple streams of myself. I'm talking to multiple possibilities of myself out there, just in different clothing. If we knew that we were talking to a whole slew of various camouflage versions of ourselves, how do we talk to ourselves? There's something that Philly Ocean said that was great, and he quoted the Dalai Lama. It goes to the effect of, treat everyone as if they are your old friend, as if you know them already, as if you're best friends. And I started applying that, and it's really interesting when you play with that idea. We're going to play with this idea. We're going to play with this idea. Everyone I meet is an old friend. Everyone I meet is a good old pal, someone who I enjoy the company of, someone who enjoys the company of me, someone who allows me to be in my element, and someone who I enable to be in their element, in their best version. I turn up the volume on participation. I turn up the volume on their crazy impressions. I turn up the volume. Kitty, kitty. Hello, little kitty, kitty, kitty. Monkey kitty. So 2020, it's the lens, it's the spectacle, there's the infinity. What are you going to put into it? What intention are you going to put into it? What are you going to grow? If we truly saw that evidence, because imagine all the things that we believe in that others have told us about. Let's do an experiment for 2020. Let's start to believe in what we want to believe in. Let's believe in the religion of, let's just for kicks, I'm not going to call it religion. No. If I could turn back time, if I could find a way, if I could find a way. And now it's time for some ASMR. Whispering, 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 whispering. This concludes our ASMR section of Inspirado Projecto podcast. This is the time, folks. You're wearing the glasses. You're looking through the lenses. I've had the analogy before, and it struck me first with Samantha Light. She was my pen pal. And this idea first struck me about the idea of being, we are each of us the needle on the record. We're the record. We are the groove in the record. We are the sound that comes from that record. We are the Victrola that is spinning that record. We are the Victrola that is amplifying that sound. We are the ear that is hearing that sound. We are the brain that is comprehending and compressing and contorting the musical. Hey, son, hand me the musical. The musical? The musical. Musical. The musical. Ooh, now there's an idea. The musical. The musical. Oh, that could be a good. Oh my God, the musical. The musical. Whoa, dude. The musical. The musical. That could be one of those one of those the toy box, like the bling 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 bling, like the little tiny steel or whatever that is, metal, the clunk clink clunk clunk, and you turn it. It could be that, and it summons the muse. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. So these people go to this guy to summon the muse. They just need the muse because they know when they touch the muse, they're in that sweet spot and there's nothing that can stop them. The muse. The muse. What is the muse? What is the token, the totem, the totality of what you place your muse interests, your amusings upon, 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 you, up, yoop, the letter U and the P. Maybe it was originally supposed to be pronounced yoop, instead of up, yoop, go yoop, go yoop. In the Huey Williams story by Andy Kaufman, Chief says, go up. Chief is a sculpture, wood, carved out of wood. There's a series of them that appear throughout the book as Huey Williams is climbing up the mountain and coming across this journey. And he comes across sort of like this shaman, this Native American, who's navigating him up this mountain, a spiritual guru, if you will. Huey Williams lives in a town where there's an amusement park, and right on the outskirts of that amusement park is a mountain. And people can go up for tours up the mountain. Most of the townspeople, they will run up the side of the mountain. They'll just be playing. There's like an area over there where they'll just run up the side, run down, run up the side, run down. So they're kind of teasing with the idea of climbing this mountain. And yet there are some of those who leave behind the town and the carnival to go up into this mountain, go on a tour, so to speak. So he decides to go up this mountain. He comes across a lot of interesting things. And there are a lot of seeds in there for those who play with the idea of Andy Kaufman faking his death. There are some seeds in there that are pretty interesting. They're planted in here. This theme of transformation, this theme of fake becoming real, becoming fake. Chief, there's a part where Andy Kaufman or Huey Williams is walking along, and the chief, the wooden chief, will suddenly come to life because there's a series of those statues. Because there's a time where the chief is not around, but then all of a sudden there's a part where there are suddenly these carved things of the chief, and then all of a sudden it comes to life, and then starts wrestling Huey. Then Huey wrestles it, and then it turns back into a wooden sculpture. Oh, no. He wrestles it, and the chief's like, whoa, I don't know what just happened. I don't know what the heck just happened. And then, gosh, what happens? It seems like the chief that he just wrestled actually ends up being the real chief. He's like, wait, are you the real chief now? Are you the real chief? It's such an intriguing book. Go up. So there's souvenir shops that say go up, and it shows the chief saying go up. Because maybe it's go yoop. Go, go, go. G is a swirl. O is infinity. Go. Swirl into infinity. Bam. Go. U. U is you. P. What's P? P, it comes right back to you. It's like a ladle. It's like it could be like a hammer. It could be a ladle. You know, hammer things in. Or it could be a ladle. Like your soup. Like P, like a spoon. Huh. S. S signifies to me like watery, liquidy spoon. Which is interesting when you think about that. Spoon. There's a liquidy. P. You're dipping it in there. O. Well, that's infinity right there. N. What's the N? N is sort of an S tipped on its side, isn't it? You can make it wavy. Yep. There are two different ways of doing that N, which are interesting. One is like that S tipped on its side. Tip it backwards. S. Oh no. It'd be reverse the S and knock it back. Boom. And then there's another N, which is basically an upside down U. So that's interesting too. Then becomes a dome. D is a dome. Oh, dome. Interesting. D. Okay, so D it's like in there. And then O, infinity. So it's like a precipitation. M. What's M? M. That's two U's upside down. U. Well, that's just how you feel about yourself. N. Sometimes you're a U, sometimes you're an N. Oh, the N is when you're drinking it. End. The end. The end of the line. Let's see, the E. What's an E? E is two U's. The E is a W tipped on its side. It's a fork. Done. Dome. That's what it was. Dome, home. Oh, interesting. Dome, home. H. Home. There's so many mysteries out there, folks. Go down the rabbit holes. What do you find? It's 2020. It's 2020. You know, they say hindsight is 2020. So we're going to be looking back at what we're going to sift through. What worked for us, what didn't, what's empowering us. With the invention of Instagram and YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and these social networks where people can get their ideas out there, the knowledge that they've done. People are traveling more. People are going up to these sacred retreats and meeting with shaman. I went to a Bashar event one time, and I met a clairvoyant gal, and she said she had a shaman named Durek. Huh. Durek the shaman. So there are folks that are investigating more and more into this stuff. There's something called Rhythmica, which there's a whole documentary about. Look up Mana, M-A-N-A, I think M-A-N-N-A, documentary, mushrooms. What was it? It's about a documentary into the investigations into these paintings they found, these ancient Christian paintings that depicted all these mushrooms. And they came to this idea that there's a possibility that the stuff Jesus used to turn the water into wine was mushrooms. So he put maybe mushrooms into the water, or maybe he mixed the mushrooms into the food, so then they just believe that they're drinking wine. So there are these ideas of the miracles that these folks saw, the disciples, anybody, around there saw, was because of these magic mushrooms. And so they were really trying to figure out, what is manna? What is this manna? Because there's a lot of this talk about manna and how it had these magical properties and all this stuff, where they come to this idea that maybe it's mushrooms, maybe it's psychedelics, maybe it's ayahuasca, maybe it's any of these DMT, any of these mind opener. Yes, they're psychedelic. In addition to that, they are therapeutic. You face the demons. Any of those things, any of that stuff, let's say, it's like that homework that you keep putting off till the last minute, and then bam, it's time to do the homework. You got to do it. It's due tomorrow. You got to do this book report. Or you got to do this science project. Book report, what's that? So then you try to speed read it, or you skip through chapters and you just kind of hint upon stuff to make it look like you covered a few bases. That's interesting, too, is that the universe is consistently placing little markers, little things going boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, boop. First, I noticed that it inspires us. This is just for me, in my that I've noticed so far within my paradigm situations. A paradigm reality experience situation. It'll lead you there nicely. And then if you're not listening, it starts making sure that you hear it loud and clear. It's like it bangs on the door kind of thing. Like it's going to take this to get you to awake to this idea. Gosh, I'm so enamored with the idea that I get to look out, I get to see these palm trees, I get to see the mountains. So back to this multi-tentacled tree. Let's say I look at this. This is my good omen. This is my wizard. This is my crystal ball. This is my antenna to good fortune. I've still got the antenna tree over here. Oh, I haven't talked to you in a while. Antenna tree. Oh, do you miss me? Antenna tree. Oh, do you miss me? I see it moving. So the musicale, they turn it. It brings the muse. It brings the muse, man. It brings the muse. Maybe to prepare for it, there's a certain ritual. Not ritual necessarily as like a series. Maybe I'm thinking maybe crystals. I'm thinking maybe tarot. I'm thinking maybe certain the what do they call it? I Ching. Is that the thing with the rocks and the ruins? Maybe use ruins. Ooh, interesting. Might be interesting. You get a reading from, so you get a super team of these people, these sort of paranormal folks, the mediums, the clairvoyants, the people who can read tarot, the people who know music, magical spells, all the people who are deep into the psychic thing that they are. And you go through this series of you go, okay, bam, you're going to read my palms now. Okay, now you're going to look into the crystal ball for me. Okay, now you're going to read my past lives. You're going to go over here. It'd be interesting to find out what would be, and then, let's say, and then on top of, I was just gonna say, and then on top of that, you had like binaural beats. Could you imagine? You had binaural beats to that whole experience. Yikes, man! Just imagine. So you got so there are the clear visuals, which is clear visual, the clear visuals, the clear audios, clairvoyant. Maybe that's those people who see. It's like the monkeys, the hear, see, taste, all that jazz. No evil. But that's the clairvoyance. I'm sure there's someone out there who could, smell a scent or something. Photograph, bam, choo, all of a sudden, bam. Those who can read the photographs with their minds, you get it all together. That I'm so surprised that a super team like that does not exist. It oughta. It seems like a no-brainer. Seems like a no-brainer. Huh. Could you imagine that? You could have a series of factions across the world. And they organize those big, meditation things. The Wizard of L.A. had talked about having this big experience in one of these parks here in Los Angeles, and one of these open spaces like they have for 4th of July, actually. I think it's on 4th of July. I think it was on 4th of July that I did the Stages of Sovereignty social experiment. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We do some fun social experiments. A lot of fun flash mobs. It's a blast, man, I gotta tell you. It's where Michelangelo gave me I first saw those kaleidoscopic sunglasses. And then that's where I invented the character Kaleidoscopic Jesus. Huh. We'll be seeing more of Kaleidoscopic Jesus. So imagine that. Okay, you got a team. You got a team of these people. And, and then you got channelers. Oh my God. One of my big dreams has been to see different beings that were being channeled through people, talking to each other. Would it just be a steady stream of information, or would it be give and take? See, do spirits have egos? And if you're really certain of something, does that mean you have ego? Because what if you just got a calling? What if you got this calling and it's just go boop, 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 boop. The game hot, cold, hot, 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 warmer, warmer, warm, colder, cold, really, coldest, colder, coldest, you're free. Okay, getting warmer, warmer, ooh, yep. Direct the attention. Man. I once met these two, or was it three? Two girls. Or was it three? Who could see ghosts. I mean, just imagine that, having that spiritual cleanse, so to speak. You got all these people, you go through this process with each of these, not specialists, You could use that word. Something bigger than that, though. Something bigger than that. Could be specialists. Investigators. Let's just say investigators. These are investigators. Hello, I'm investigator. Bum 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 bum. I'm investigator. Bum bum bum. Wonder if they'd shorten it to Invies. I'm Envy Reynolds. I'm Envy. Hello, Envy Reynolds. Hello, Envy Wilson. Envy. Hello, I'm Envy. I am Envy Churchill. I am Envy Plantagenet. I am Envy Gajunshi. I am Envy Falfin. I am Envy Falfin. Pleasure to meet you. Here's my friend Envy Pashunya. Envy Pashunya. Welcome. Envy Gajunshi. Envy Baoxiao. Please meet Envy Snorkins. Envy Schneibel. Please meet Envy Kapulstabs. Kapulstabs. Yes. Are you still here, Mr. Kapulstabs? Oh, he went to the coffee machine. Envy Crombillion. Envy Crombillion. Billion. Envy Crumby Billion. Envy Crumby Billion. Envy Crumby Billion. Envy Crumby Billion, your soup is getting cold. And by soup, I mean potato soup. I'm going to eat it, Envy. Envy. Crumby Billion, I'm going to eat. I'm going to gobble up that soup here in 2020. I'm going to do it. I'm going to put on my sunglasses. I'm going to put on my lens, my 2020 lens, and I'm going to gobble it up. Envy. This would be the perfect time for a sunglass making company to make sunglasses, 2020 sunglasses. And this is for you to be able to see into the future as if you're looking into the hindsight. Looking into the hindsight through the future. And the ears, the loops over the ears are twos, obviously. The zeros, the O is the spectacle. 2020. 2020, have 2020 vision now and beyond. Bam. They could be sunglasses. Let's say they get dark out in the light. They could be tinted. Ooh. Ooh. What if you hook up some sort of emotive kind of thing that goes around the eyes and over the bridge of the nose and it just kind of runs the course up the side of the brain and over the ear. Imagine what if that earpiece then it maybe has an earpiece goes burn and it plugs into the ears, so it's got headphones, and maybe it plays binaural beats based on what you're feeling or what you're looking at. So if it's noticing you're stressed, it plays binaural beats in there subtly that enable you to be much less stressed. Maybe there'd be some voice commands in there. Maybe the voice commands are so slow that you barely notice them, but they're put throughout. They're so low. I mean, slow. They're slow. And sped up. Sounds like the song, but but really those symbols are really just, you're the best, you're the best, you're the best. You're like really fast. You're the best, you're the best, you're the best, you're the best. You're the best, you're the best, you're the best, you're the best. You're the best, you're the best, you're the best, you're the best, you're the best. Winner, 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 winner. Winner, 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 winner. So you put that stuff in there. 2020. I'm imagining some kind of VR. It'd be so cool if there's some kind of VR. Maybe nanotechnology like that's so tiny. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just simply what if the screen, let's see. I'm trying to think here. Do I want to think? Oh, this is what I want to do. So on the glasses, this is what I was thinking. Okay. That's what I'm thinking. So it reads you. It's got like emotive in there. It can read your eye if it's moving. Now, check this out. You put a lens over the eyes, and now it helps you see, and it takes photos just like those specific lenses would. We could call it the collapse. The Clops. 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 The O looks like an eye. Bam. Eyeball. It's the Clops. And you put a lens over your eye and you focus. It knows when you want to focus on something. And then you blink when you want to take the photo. Perfect for National Geographic photographers. It's just like, like a Google Glass. I don't know, something like that. But then they're like, yeah, zoom in. Zoom in. Okay, sharpen. Bam! Ja. Could you imagine? Now, does it take into consideration people who have contacts or people who wear glasses? I don't know just yet, but I would love to believe that all the kinks would be worked out. So I'm imagining, okay, bam, cha. Also, imagine if the lens had little nanotechnology in there, and you could play a movie. There you are, just in it. Yeah, you could interact with it, sure. However, this is just basically a movie. Who knows? Maybe it is interactive. But I was just imagining the idea of how crazy that would be. So let's say, for instance, it reenacts, you got something where it's your old favorite Twilight Zone episodes. And there you are in the plane with William Shatner. That's part of my New Year's resolution. Well, let's get back to this. You're on the plane, you're William Shatner, and you're looking out there. There's nothing you can do. You can't move, really. You're just kind of a passenger in the mind of this thing that you see going on. And you just kind of like, okay, I become this thing. I'm in it. Maybe you could also see it from the perspective of the gremlin. So you're out there up on the wing. Maybe you were sent there to assemble pieces, take pieces off of it for something. But you didn't realize it was going to, it has the potential of killing people. The gremlin. It's both really funny and yet terrifying at the same time. The gremlin. Man. I could see the gremlin, now the rain is falling. I can see clearly now, it's on the wing. I can see clearly now, the rain is falling. Down on the gremlin, on the airplane wing outside. While I am sitting in my airplane seat. While I'm drinking my green tea. I look outside the window beside me. And I see a big green gremlin looking at me. I can see clearly now, there's a gremlin there. Hey everyone here, take a look out my window. Sorry mister, we don't at all know what you're talking about. We think you're crazy. But I see he's got some furry coat. Bottoms of his feet look like sneakers. He's got sort of a big nose, but it's scary too. I ain't never seen nothing like this on a wing of an airplane. This program brought to you by the makers of Inspirado Projecto. Partners with K Chung, 1630 AM in Chinatown. If you would like to contribute to this episodic or any future episodics of Inspirado Projecto podcast, or the radio version on K Chung, 1630 AM on Chinatown, the first and third Monday of every month. Which, by the way, you ought to keep your ears peeled for the first one of 2020. It's on Monday the 6th. Okay, so keep your eyes peeled for it. If you'd like to contribute to have your audioscape featured on Inspirado Projecto, email it about 5 minutes or less to inspiradoprojecto@gmail.com. That is inspiradoprojecto@gmail.com. Or you can call our toll-free hotline. Leave it a voicemail on 561-203-9179. That again is 561-203-9179. 561-203-9179. Happy 2020. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum.
Hi, it's Mickey Dolenz here. You're listening to Inspirado Projecto.